What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. John, did you hear? Super Metamorphosis is at $500 freaking dollars. Well, yeah, I saw, and I've waited a couple days to see if there would be any movement or non-movement on this, because it's such a high rarity card that people really revere, yet the Fallout should have low quantities, and the first person listing under the $500-ish mark is towards $460. Ain't that cute? But it's wrong. So we see Champion Pack 1 here. The market price is still at $220. A listing price does not mean a sale price, does not mean that's what it's at. It just means on these common platforms that's the easiest perhaps way to get one, that's where it's listed. So we go over to eBay, right? Another easy platform. What's the cheapest one? It's at $400, but it's a Beckett freaking graded 9.5. Now, grading does actually add value to cards, to collectors, and Beckett is up there with PSA. People actually like how they give the specifics of what's graded what, and a 9.5 is really hard to get with Beckett. It's basically gem mint to them, and that's what this is considered. Yeah, so this is asking for less than these. Neither are realistically selling right now. What does this mean? Well, it means that while you can throw your money at the screen and say, shut up and take my money, I have $250 for one of these, it's not yet available because the sellers don't want to bend in, and they don't plan to move fast on a card like this. So the supply is out, and it depends where the demand will meet the supply. Who will get antsy? Who will jump for one of these? Who will just decide, screw it, I'm gonna buy that Beckett graded one? And realistically, maybe nobody. Maybe nobody's that crazy. Or maybe Metamorphosis starts to go up and now it's a 300 solid for the Super. Maybe the first person to go for that will actually make their sale. We don't know until the Fallout, and that's the scarcity of the collector's market now. There's certain cards where even if you have reasonable money, you might not obtain them. Now, when we go down, there's another discussion point here. Common Metamorphosis is something to think about because it's one of the most expensive pieces of low rarity GOAT decks, and GOAT format is still somewhat popular. It's not booming like it used to. People got a little bit tired of it. Now, Nekros is the new shiny format to play with the past with the reprints. It's still a relatively popular bangin' format. PPG's doing side events for them, I know, at their series, and I'll be commentating during that this Easter. But Metamorphosis is still something you should want to have. I don't think it's going to be a reprint anytime soon, and if you're looking for a near mint rarity, get it before it doubles again. We've seen it go from 2 to 5. Get it before it's a freaking $10 card. Now, speaking of buyouts that I think are personally ridiculous, hey, it's Pot of Extravagance. Last I looked at you were $52. Now you're 60 freaking 6 and 7. What just happened? This is not in any of the top meta decks. This is mainly draw power more towards rogue decks that are on the outside looking in. Like, Alter Guys can be played in the meta game, but it's a rogue deck. Subterrors are a rogue deck, yet this is spiking right here. And do I need to remind you the Megatins just got announced? Megatins are 4 sets. While we don't have Savage Strike cards announced yet, specifically, Pot of Extravagance should be up for reprint. It should be Flood, Saiho, Soul Fusion, and Savage Strike, the 4 core sets, yet this is up. And it doesn't make sense to me. Phantasmia, of course, is going to be in the meta game. It's heading towards the WCQ. It's going to be up there, and it won't fall until after when people want their money back and want to run from the Megatins. But this is just madness to me. Maybe it's the rest of the market falling down, this set becoming top heavy as everything else falls down even more and is just cheap, but it's crazy to me to think that this is rising without a prominence in the meta. Is it really Rogue taking that much of a grip? Speaking about the Megatins, I just wanted to kind of review those other sets guaranteed in the tins. We have Flood. It would be nice to see Impermanence printed again, but I feel like we're going to get Ash Blossomed, where it was the Chase and Dual Power, and they'll use it in another set similar to Shadows and Valhalla, where they need to really push it. So I think we're going to not get Impermanence perhaps in the 10s or Battles of Legend, but then again, Konami surprised us at every twist and turn this year, and I wouldn't mind a super rare Impermanence in those 10s, because everything is different rarity in the 10s too. It really opens up those reprint margins. Nightmare Unicorn. Now, another question is, do they consider Prismatic Secret a different rarity than Secret, because they said everything will be in different rarities? That's another question, because like a prismatic secret unicorn would probably go for more than the regular secret, but this secret would go for more than a super or ultra. Ibly and Sucker are still there. I would definitely sell your Suckers now. There's no way I feel like that it misses both Battles of Legends and the 10s, especially since they pushed a zombie structure deck. They've got to have plans for it. Basically, every single secret rare last year got pushed into the 10s, unless it was up for bans like Masterpiece, or between that and Battles of Legends. So we have two huge reprint sets coming that should really floor the market on everything happening here. Saiho is a little bit interesting to me because it has the dangers. We do see Nessie falling, we see Jackalope falling, Bigfoot actually staying the same, and if everything is lower rarity versus Bigfoot, he can hold a decent price like $10-12, not really fall that much, so people aren't as fast to get rid of this level 8 buddy. And the Cyber Dragon stuff has been creeping up. I could definitely see this more so in Battles of Legend, and this is speculation, but we had Cyber Rev system in the previous one, so if they're going for the Cyber Dragon reprints, I could see them happening sooner than later, but both are still after the WCQ, so plan accordingly with your budget and what you're going for. And of course, Dangerous Neck falling down, it's so nice. Thunder Dragon Colossus should find its way in their trap trick. Tons of really well priced out cards this year throughout the sets. A lot of things held value way better than last year, and it's been that way for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I wanted to bring up the 2018 10s because although we're going to get different rarities this year, it's still telling that there's only one card still worth the 10s currently. So within half a year, Konami still reprinted everything again to the point where it was quelled, or demand just didn't go up that much. And we see cards like Cerberus go back up, evenly matched, relatively decent now because of dual power. Inspector Border not spiking heavily, although I see it still has a higher ceiling. Electromite getting a decent bump from the Pendulum support coming. But like, they haven't had to reprint a ton of stuff, but they went after the hottest stuff, the chase cards that are still atop the prices, and reprinted everything but Saryuja, which again people are scared of the F&L list coming up. So hey, I also wanted to talk about Dark Saviors. This is just a talking point that, remember, this is up for reprint in Battles of Legend, yet it maintains this price point because it's the deck in the face of that ban list, in the face of reprints. It stays up there because everybody knows it's after the WCQ, and you can expect that drop off about a week, maybe half a week before the WCQ, where people can't get these cards in anymore for the WCQ. That's realistically where you'll see the price crash. Now let's talk Nekros buyouts. Cyber Angel Benten. Yep, Nekros have been using this for some bit. They were originally using it, I believe, to get Christia, and the incantations now offer a new target for you to be able to use Benten with Vanity's Ruler, also bought out for its ultimate rare. And the rares aren't that cheap either. So what's Vanity's Ruler do better than Christia? Well, you can continue to special summon while your opponent can't. And Benten happens to search this also, and the incantations allow you to tribute summon for this just as you would Christia. But if you haven't got to Megazaborg and you draw this, it's a decent way to stun your opponent. Now, cards like this just aren't as good as they used to be. It feels really powerful until you get Infinite Impermanenced. And that's still them having to draw it, but it happens a lot more than it used to. It can still be completely game-ending, but I think Christie is just fine. But I can't undervalue either the ability to continue your board. Now, Christia does kind of rely on either tribute summoning out with the incantations like Vanity's Ruler, so that you get those free bodies, or it relies on you getting to Megazaborg, dumping 3 Heralds, and then dumping Benten for the 4th. I think the fact that Christia has the same ability to summon like this, and you can end your turn at any point, you don't really need to continue special summoning. I don't think this offers that much more, but Nekros in the first place aren't at the forefront of the meta to continue these hype buyouts. It's more so just people now have these in hand and are like, hey, what's good with these? What can I do? And it's causing real, impact on the market, but you can still get super Bentens under $1. You can get the commons for 5 cents. This is not going to last, and already on eBay, you see it's down towards 7. So I think we'll see it go back down to its original market price, or lower maybe. I don't know. The quantities are going to be hot potatoed away. But you only really use 1 Benten in most builds that I've seen. So I would call both of these relatively bad buyouts, but at the same time, when we talk about those quantities that can't replenish on market too easily, the price might be permanently upped to like 30 or 35 for a card like this. It's kind of funny that it could be a good buyout just because it's not an easy to refill buyout. Speaking of incantations, I just noticed that whenever you look at independent sellers like that have one quantity, you might want to be looking around if you don't have these already, but they're also up for Megaton targets, so likely to get a reprint sooner than later as well. Just afterthought. And dual power, finally. People have been asking me, John, has it bottomed out yet? Is it done? Is it time to buy? And my answer has been yes. I think that like maybe you'll get a quarter off, 50 cents, up to $1 from some of these prices, but we're at that point where pretty much everyone who's gotten these has busted them open and listed. And they're going to keep what they want to keep and only try to sell it when it's opportune. So the quantities realistically are here to stay. And we see Ghost Spell under $12 by a seller. That's insane. You'll be able to keep trying to snipe off deals like this throughout the week from people trying to undercut the major players. Nashter under 13, evenly matched. I did not think I'd see it 12 even. Borlo Dragon under 10 makes sense. The Revolver Structure deck's coming. Ash Blossom starting to rise back already for its holographic version out of here. Bryonic bottomed out past where I thought it would, and I'm pretty happy with it because of its quantities. Ghost Ogre, yeah, this is an amazing hand trap that will come back into relevance throughout metas. Carditomize at almost $5. 15 a place, that sounds really good to me. A lot of these are where they're bottomed out. As we get to the second page, we're actually going to see a lot of cards that just, you know, are $1 or under. $3.50 for Galaxy Soldiers. Cyber Dragon stuff's hype right now, and this is a fresh reprint. Just like Battles of Legend, I can see this going up over time, even though it's just extra printing. So Borg the Mega Monarch, yeah, it's an amazing card. It's very powerful, and quantities won't last forever. But realistically, it's going to take 3 to 6 months to really see where this is going to shape. But like the Dark Magician support, you could see buyouts as soon as next week. So you only have yourself to blame if you're like not buying $1.50 in a Turia Beast. We've seen that beast at $2 before, and the moment it became relevant in a metagame, whoosh, that could happen with this one too. And you can bet some people are going to be holding those stacks ready to launch at whatever price to help cool it off and make their own money, like 3s or 5s or whatever. But you still want it as cheap as possible. You only have yourself to blame if you do not go for cards. Like, I think Crystal Wings down here at $1.30. Security Dragon, I did not possibly see under $5 as an original card to this set. And again, when we look at Battles of Legend, remember Living Fossil, how it was really cheap at first and then went up as Isolde became a thing and people realized this is one of the best equips for it. Security Dragon could easily find its way with its genericness into a metagame, especially with Kaiju Slumber at 3. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is not like Battles of Legend where a single box gets you every card. Like, Crystal Wing has the potential to go back up over time. I definitely would be looking at these because $1 a card is what you're paying raw in dual power. Yeah, it's 30 cards, $30. So people are willing to break even on this card to make their plus with others. Vion, that's a card that was $9 previously. It's something that can go up over time. Again, it's just pick and choose what you want currently. And Stardust, the promo, hey, already flexed in $1. Okay, I see you. I expected Stardust to be the most out of the promos, as historically it is. I could see this having its highest ceiling too, although being a promo in such a widely open set, it's going to be hard. You see this guy with 90 at $1.12. It's going to be hard for it to ever recover. But again, what do you guys think of dual power? Am I overstating? Do you think you have more time than I'm letting on? Or do you think, hey, now is the time, or the prices will get lower? There's so many people. It really does come down to opinion and speculation, but we've seen this kind of thing before with Kaiba Collection, and it will take the unlimited printing of the set to really crash values. So if you're going for the long term, you could wait for that. But again, metas will shape, buyouts will happen. It is how the market is. So what do you guys also think of the collector market? I truly want to hear your opinions on cards like Super Metamorphosis, even if you never have interest in owning them. What do you think of kind of this craziness and the flexing that it shows on the market? Like, this is insane. $500 Super Metamorphosis. I really did not see this coming. But at the same time, a lot of you might have, and in some senses, it's not really there until you make the sale. So what do you think these will actually sell for as well? Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And sorry if I did rant a little long. There was a lot to cover in this market watch, but I've been trying to do more when I do these, which is why they're a little far apart. John, get to the market watch. That's like every stream lately. Okay, I'm getting to it, I promise. Thanks for watching, everybody.